And we are live.
Yep.
Welcome, guys, to What's the Matter Coaching. And
Okay.
Whoopam Gangnam Style.
Where we can put this phone?
I'll hold that on my hold
There. And the person.
So it was raining where we wanted to do the video, so we ended up doing it in the car instead.
Yes.
So today's video, or today's topic for the live, right? Welcome to our new routine that we're going to be doing every week, which is going to be you got it?
Yeah, him. Okay, just in case, we are live in Facebook and on Instagram with Oscars, obviously.
There we go.
And the reason why we keep looking like both ways is because we have two phones.
Awesome. Look at that, we already got a visitor here. So perfect. So today is going to be the new routine, right? For the conscious conversations. What's the matter with you? What's the matter with our world? And what does matter really? And so our first topic of introduction is going to be becoming one with the metaphysical world.
Yes. So I did a little PowerPoint
So we're going to post
presentation.
So we'll post it after.
We can post it after?
Yeah, so
Okay.
Perfect. We're going to post it after, and whoever wants to jump on, just let us know, and you can add in your own perspective, and we can talk about how that unifies with the greater whole, that highest perspective, making sure that we're aligned with our truest self instead of getting lost within the mind or illusions, right? Circumstances, thinking and thought patterns. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is how important the perspective of the metaphysical world, the energetic power. Let's see what it says here. By metaphysical, are you going ethereal or morontial? Wow, that's actually the first time I hear that word,
nice.
Morontial. But definitely into the ethereal. But you see, the ethereal, we want to go ahead and talk to it in regards to science, because it connects with the science fabric of perception that a lot of the scientists hold, which is that the quantum field, this energy, these waves of positive and negative charge that are always floating within our universe are connected with us. So we're using those potentials to then orchestrate our reality. We call this the law of attraction.
Yes, and by what I did in the presentation that you're going to see later, I divide the world metaphysical, and and you're going to see what it means meta and what it means help me with that,
the metaphysical.
Physical. Yeah. Yes. So you're going to see what is the conclusion of both and the realization that you're going to start making within yourself.
Yeah, and this is all a melting of perceptions. You see the melting of perception and scientific phenomena with what we interpret as the higher self, right? The spiritual talk. We're all on our own unique journey, right? Realizing these own individual perceptions of the quantum field, quantum entanglement, for example, and all these different phenomenons that belong, relatively speaking, to the scientific field. But you see, they merge intuitively as we feel ourselves, as we feel the embodiment of our higher self, that soul's intelligence. We then get guided to that fundamental fabric of reality, which guides us to seeing those numbers repetitively, right? Like the awakening codes, 111, 222.
Alignment. When you're in alignment,
things like that.
You see
Synchronicity. We start seeing symmetry, and then this symmetry allows us to see that, wow, I am actually one with my external reality. I'm one with that energy. So this is the main thing we're trying to point at here. When we start to realize that we are this energy.
Hey, be conscious of the other camera.
Yeah, before we are energy.
So
we were energy before, and then we become physical. So we're experiencing this physical life, but the fundamental of all the reactions that we experience in our circumstances. You see how that becomes the reflection. But this is the thing that we don't notice yet, you see? So we're trying to then point at noticing it more often. Because when you start to really see closely into reality with habits, for example,
yes,
we get to see that complete reaction in physics, for example. That we have every action has an equal reaction.
The law of the universe.
Yeah, the laws of the universe, they call it as well. But this is noted once we start to see how when we put forth a positive momentum, we get a positive reflection. For example, take into consideration of when you meet someone, right? You're meeting somebody and they're reflecting to you your same personal state.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's like you start...
How everything is a reflection of
yourself.
yourself.
Yeah, everything's a reflection of yourself. And that's tapping into the higher self. The higher self pattern of consciousness. But that higher self pattern of consciousness still exists within the normal meeting of people. It's just how normal we bring in these perceptions into our reality.
Into the reality. Yes.
Are we making it complicated, right? Are we trying to just be in favor of a certain perception or ideology? Or are we really seeking to unify the perspectives? Because that becomes very possible now. It becomes very possible to unify the perspectives of science, of philosophy,
science,
of
symbolism.
Of symbolism, of the ethereal realms. All this becomes unified.
Oh, but Genesis, hi, and Derek. Hi, Derek. If you guys have any questions, si tienen alguna pregunta, just déjanos saber, because we're doing the live en inglés, pero si tienes pregunta en español, lo podemos traducir.
Welcome, yeah. So, Crystal, let's talk a little bit about the opening of your experience, because before you didn't even recognize that there were other realms.
Yes.
Right. And one of the freaky things that I guess points at us calling our company a modern day mystery school is because things sometimes get a little spooky, right? Because we're going into the unknown. We're going into the mystery. We weren't taught this, guys. We weren't taught this our entire lives, and we're just now entering into this new understanding. Like, wow, I lived here in this really amazing reality the entire time, where I can create my outcomes. You can create your reality. You don't have to just work hard and think for the best. You can create the best for yourself. Not becoming a victim anymore of your circumstances, but the creator of them. Right?
So, it's good that you mentioned of the unknown, because it just came to me that I just have to say it, that sometimes as humans, when we just are identified just with the human perception, we get scared of the unknown, because the mind needs certainty. I have to be certain that this is going to happen, and if not, I get scared, not having faith. And once you start realizing that you are beyond mind and body, that you're mind, body, and spirit, that is metaphysical, you start realizing that your potential. You start realizing your potential.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, with great responsibility, with great
power.
With great power comes great responsibility, and that's where wisdom comes in, to really know how to speak this knowledge, and how.
And pass it along. Because
yes.
By us leading by example, like let's say the ways of Jesus or the ways of Buddha, we're then going beyond the regular understanding of religion and philosophy. We're combining the perspectives. We're realizing that what they were leading to, these masters, right? These masters that incarnated, that lived on this planet, were teaching us how to reach our potential. What potential is that? Connecting with our mind, body, and spirit potential. Can barely hear, I think, is the car air.
Yeah. Oh, the car air.
Yeah, turn the air off.
Thank you, Hennessy. Turn the air off here.
Perfect.
So,
so activating the mind, body, spirit potential. So, no, what I was asking you, Crystal, was that, living throughout your life, like really identified, right, with a mind and body.
Yes.
And not tapping into that spirit potential. You can tell them a little bit about that metaphysical world when you entered.
When you start entering.
Yeah, when you start opening, let's say, your third eye, your psychic perception. And this is accessible to everybody.
So, yes, one of the things, how everything started, because I didn't even believe in God. Like, I didn't believe in a higher power or something else. I was atea, básicamente. Llegó un momento que yo le dije, I even said to my mom, hey, I don't even fucking believe, I just believe in myself. This is where my words, and y cuidado. So I was really in a low vibration mode, really being
Low
a
energy.
victim, low energy, siendo la víctima, like todo me pasa a mí, y todo es por mí, es tu culpa, es mi culpa, like just blaming and complaining everything. So, una de las cosas that I'm grateful to this day is that in the relationship that I was, he gave me a book. And the book, that la coincidencia fue un 14 de febrero. He really gave me that book from his heart. And he told me, I want you to read this book. The book is called Conversation with God. And when I read that book, it really like blows my mind. And keep in mind that throughout all this happening, I started going to a psychology because I was really ashamed of who I was. I was really in the mind.
Yeah, the mind and body.
I was depressed. I was living in the past instead of the present moment.
And then let's stop right there. Let's just mention how this is a really big thing for everybody, right? Everyone's really identified with the mind and body. And so we forget a lot of times in our busy lives to connect back with what is the fundamentals of creation, right? That spirit. Mind, body, spirit. And then we become whole again. We're able to align with our life's purpose to true fulfillments, true desires from the heart, instead of from our minds or from our, let's say, identifications with the external world, surface level interpretations.
Yes.
So tell them a little bit about how your perception changed and how you saw your reality, like again with the opening of
my third eye. So cuando yo empecé a ir a la psicóloga, she told me, hey, you have really high levels of anxiety. And if you don't lower your levels of anxiety, first you have to lower your levels of anxiety so I can give you therapy.
Yeah.
Because you don't learn when you are in anxious. And she told me, if not, we have to medicate you. And I was like, that is a good belief that my mom inculcó in me. And she always believed in natural things. Y a mí me mencionaba like the pills, and I was like, no. So I changed I start meditating.
Okay.
And since the first day that I sit down, because it was the first time that I say to my body like, hey, calm down, come here, let's just sit down and stay for 10 minutes. I start doing it 5 minutes. Okay. 5 minutes, and then since that day,
when you expand your third eye, Crystal. Yeah, you remember.
So when I expanded my third eye, it wasn't too much alone either. So
yeah, I remember. This is the thing where, this is the first time you're actually talking about this experience in person. So let's just put it out there because, to keep that level of authenticity, we're all on the unique path of our self-discovery. We're learning more of ourselves. So we don't talk about this that normally. That I'm seeing this, I'm seeing into other realms, and how energy has to do with, creative manifestation, law of attraction. It's all the same unified field of intelligence that we're working with. We're unified with it. So reality, so go ahead now and just introduce to them how you start to see your reality once you expand your third eye and all those possibilities that we have to our advantage, guardian angels, all those things.
So how I start expanding my third eye, I start following my intuition.
You said meditating.
I start meditating from that day on. For the first day that I started meditating, and I realized that everything was energy, and we live in an ocean of energy, it was like I started believing more and more and more, because this is the thing with reality. You cannot lie to yourself, and when you really want things from your heart.
And you started seeing.
And you start seeing more.
It kept teaching you.
Yes, it kept teaching you. So that, and through all the astral process.
Yeah, and tell them a little bit about the astral projections too, that you had that, when you go to sleep and you start expanding your perception to the point where now you're having experiences that are pointing into your reality, like subconscious lessons.
Okay, so yes, when you go to sleep. So since you are in the process of healing and knowing and remembering who you are, that you are three beings in one, mind, body, and spirit. When we have dreams, sometimes we get scared because of a really bad dream, and that is your subconscious mind telling you something. There's a message, un mensaje subliminal detrás de eso. No es like flat how you perceive it in the dream. Sometimes when we have a dream with water and the water is dark, or this way is your emotional You're emotional, and the dream is telling you, hey.
So let's stop right there and let's let them know that when you open your sense perception, right, your third eye, your psychic perception, this is the enhancement of your intuition, the progression of your intuition. So you're learning to find a deeper meaning within things, the deeper perspective coming from you having a deeper sense of perception. Okay, so this being said, we're then seeing how in our dreams we hold messages that point us to our life purpose, to what we're here to do. Let's say you haven't healed
What happened? Okay.
There we go.
Perfect.
So yeah, so becoming one with the metaphysical world, we're just realizing that beyond all of our surface circumstances, beyond all the busy chaos.
Genesis, te contesto ya mismo, and Eduardo, hi.
Yeah, definitely. Let's read what she said after. But you know, beyond all these surface level things like COVID, right, the pandemic, beyond all that, there is an energy formulation, inter-exchange going on between everybody.
And how you can self-healing and self-regenerate, just as Mother Earth regenerates, you have that in you because you're part with nature. We have created that belief that we are one, a part of nature, but in reality we're not. You're an animal too.
Yeah, most of us are going back to our best health, right? Because how many of us have started our path, right? Our physical lives, not really treating our body healthily. So we start treating our body unhealthily, and then now we're going backwards into health. We're going back into health. So we have lower immune systems, and we're not as strong or prepared for these viruses or these diseases, when biologically at our highest potential, we can counteract it with no problem.
Yeah, but sometimes, and when you start asking, like, hey, like, I'm sick, and it's the body telling you la señal, hey, like, you're sick because what you are like eating and putting in your body, and that's the result of your actions.
Yeah, and one main thing that I want to introduce before finishing this, and before I even get onto that, right here your friend said, Genesis, I'm in that state. Lots of anxiety, and they want to give me antidepressants, and I said no. Yeah, okay. So that's perfect, because I guess we can say that through her intuition, right? Maybe we feel guided, like many people, to not follow the conventional pattern, because you feel like you can actually heal yourself from within, instead of having to depend from an external understanding, from somebody outside of you. When you know yourself better than anybody else, that you can find that deeper meaning. You can find out that you can cure the anxiety. You don't have to take anything for anxiety, because maybe it's an energetic imbalance or an energetic overactivity, but that you can definitely align once again. And then she said,
yes, it says, hi, Kiara, and then she says...
That's what I've been trying to do for a long time, trying to connect for my energy, finding some answers. Yeah.
This is great because she's really intuitive already. She even posts in her page, I have seen, Hennessy, that you believe in extraterrestrial life. So that's awesome. We have something, un pie adelante there.
Yeah, those bigger perspectives become really relevant the more you start progressing on this path of self-discovery. But the energy portion is, that's our individual progress. That's our individual cultivation. How are we shaping ourselves energetically? And energetically, we're shaped by our belief systems, right? All our circumstances, our traumas, our experiences, everything that we've been through has molded us into an energetic structure. This energetic structure could be known to be the interpretation of how we behave in our everyday lives. How you behave and how much energy you send out with every action or emotion, that's your energetic state.
Yes.
Some people are weaker, right? Of expressing themselves, they're more reserved, they're maintaining their energy within. Some people are really active, really hyper, right? And they're getting that energy outwards. And this is all part of your energetic expression. The energy that you hold within you, your spirit, and how it's manifesting itself through your body and through your mind.
And Hennessy is one of the things that how I started to understand that this is just an advice. It was I started tapping into science, and then from science since I didn't believe in spirit, I start going into science, and then from science I made the connection to spirit. And obviously here my business partner Oscar, he helped me a lot to start embodying spirit, because he already was prepared for the whole curriculum.
Yeah, everyone's on their own journey, right? We're all aligning our own spirit in different ways. For example, one thing that I'm dealing with, right, to share with you all, is grounding the energies of expanding your perception and then bringing that into normality, right? In these day-to-day conversations. Why can't this be ever so simple? Why can't we express ourselves and really connect at this level of truth, right? Aren't we all at the end of the day looking for the right answer or the best answers that serve not my highest good, but that serve all of our highest good? And that's what we're here to bring forth to the best of our ability, through What's the Matter coaching. By finding out what's the matter with you, what's the matter with the world, and what is matter really, by having these conversations, we get to acquaint ourselves with a relative truth, a universal truth.
There you can even make the connection. What's the matter? What's the matter? You can use the word matter as a matter, everything you feel physical. What's the matter? And then we ask, what's the matter? From there.
What is matter? It's all contained in the now, right in front of you. Okay, we have the potential to align with a universal perspective, but why don't we? Because we're so focused on the physical. I mean, how many people's attentions right nowadays are going to the COVID? But the thing is that's dwindling down because there are more important things that are happening throughout our world than this pandemic. That we rather spend our energy, right, our spirit, and express it, not being locked up in our homes and having masks on all the time, but that we want to get back to this normal living. We want to get back to creating, to evolving.
And we need to start taking responsibility of our own actions.
Yeah, and that's where this comes from, taking responsibility and connecting once again back with this metaphysical world so that you can then create your reality. You can then end your suffering, whatever belief systems that haunt you, whatever stressful thought patterns that you may have, or how to finally tame your energy so you can be peaceful at home, so you can really be calm, so you can live out your purpose, so you can organize your mind to work for you instead of you working and through exhaustion from your mind. And we align ourselves with that greater portion, that greater potential.
Yeah, so Omarcito, it's your turn.
It's your turn. So and Omar here he's really jumping into this new public speaking, something that you haven't done in your life before. But
vamos a apoyarlo aquí.
Yeah, pure intentions have a lot to do with sensing the metaphysical world. I had many encounters of you would say supernatural. Like I would go fishing a lot and I would see like starships with friends, and that was that definitely changed my perceptions.
In the one in particular you were telling us in regards to like the light ship, right?
Yeah.
But one day you were on a group chat, a group call with a couple of people, and this really blew my mind too, because I haven't never heard of something so vivid within my own reality. But apparently what happened was that he was in this chat, and you told me that, what did you do with the beam of light?
There was like about 8 people in the chat, and we were just talking about these things that we were talking about now, and I got really close to the camera with my eye, and you see the reflection of light that comes out of your eye. Well, I noticed that it was just getting bigger and bigger, and I went up to the phone and I was like, wait, what? And I like forced it open, and there was a light ship floating in my eye, and like 8 people are looking at it and recording.
One of those moments, right, that we dive so much into the now, right, into the present moment, and we just go beyond our mental barriers and we tap into what is here in front of us, the potential, the endless potential that we have. And as you can see, he experienced this metaphysical perspective, coming from a very physical standpoint, right? You just chatting with 8 people on a group chat, and then you start harnessing this beam of light that turns into a light ship, right? A ship, which is like a spaceship, which is based upon light, and it's flowing through his eyes, and he's seeing it crystal clear. He's completely sober.
Yeah.
And all he's doing is exceeding his expectations. He's going beyond the threshold of our belief systems, right? And when we do this, we tap into the unknown. We tap into our godliness. We tap into our soul, our spirit, right? And this is the main message, to connect back once again, to come back home, to remember that you are this spirit before you are this physical depressed or physically confused person. Before any of that, you are peace, blissful, aligned and organized soul intelligence. Now it's about bringing that back into physicality. Bringing back that into your human experience. As you keep on bringing this back into your human experience, you become unified. You become one with the metaphysical world, and you become whole once again. So that you don't have so many questions left unanswered, and a path that seems like it may be lost at times, but that you've always been connected and in the flow.
Yes, and one of the things that I would like to mention is about love, and is this it's a quote of one of the one book of Brené Brown, that she says that everybody knows that love is an experience, is the most exciting experience, something around those lines, and we don't study it. Why that? If everybody knows that it's the most experience on the human experience, the most profound experience, how many of you, she said, are able to walk out without love of this room? Nobody answered. Nobody raised their hands. So that's my message to you. Like, everybody knows that love is the most profound message in life,
and why
the
are
most
we
important thing in life.
Yeah, and why aren't we discovering it?
Why we are not studying, why we're not discovering it.
Yeah, and that's actually really relevant, and thank you for mentioning that, because we get to see now how this love, this energy and emotion, right? Because when we're emitting this, we're sending it out. We can receive the energy that someone sends to us. We feel the vibes, right? The vibes of love, and we receive it. We receive it or we give it. So essentially, we have the potential, all of us, humanity, to ride this wave. So we have this basis of love and this profound effect that it holds. And I guess it seems that now we're just becoming acquainted with it once again. The power that it has. That we don't just have the power to love, one another, and that's it. That we can use this energy output, which is the love in motion, and we can literally shift in this reality into whatever reality you want. And you can attract to yourself via what we know as the law of attraction anything you want into your life. That you can create the outcomes. You can align yourself with the people that are going to take you and align with you to create the life of your dreams. It all becomes this journey, right?
A journey.
The human experience, living your life's purpose. Going through the circumstances, knowing that the obstacles are all overcome at the end of the day. And this is the natural cause of our universe, our state, once realized. That we get to look at our own journey and say, all right, I'm learning more than just something that my mind is learning. I'm actually learning something from the soul. Why I came here to begin with on this planet. That I haven't just been living a normal human life, that there's a deeper meaning. And once I start finding that deeper meaning, I become more and more fulfilled.
Once you let go, you start letting go more of the victim mentality and start tapping more into your creator potential that you create through your thoughts, emotion, and actions.
Everything changes.
Life starts changing from there. Living life consciously.
Yeah, and that's our little introduction for you all.
So, Genesis, I'm seeing here that you have another question. I'm going to text you because we're going to send you like a couple of things private, and we have October 11 our seminar is going to be in Miami Beach. We're going to start putting all the details shortly.
Yeah, we'll start promoting shortly in the next week or so. And I just wanted to read what you said here. I've been in similar situations like the guy with the white shirt. You see, so
nice.
Your experience, that's really cool. That we have people all over the world encountering these experiences, these paranormal phenomena, and a lot of the times what I see is that we put this paranormal phenomena within a belief system.
Yes.
Oh, that's just that experience that person had. But what if that experience that person had a tremendous effect on that person's life purpose?
To understand their experience,
themselves,
you need to understand the basis of reality. What is real? What is reality itself?
What are we paying attention to? Are we paying attention to things that are really not real in this reality? Like, let's say, you crashing your car. That wouldn't really affect you at that profound level of your reality's direction. But you can let it affect you. You could let that be the cause of your detriment, or to you going into a bad hole or making bad decisions. But that was not the goal, right?
Yeah.
That wasn't the goal of that.
Things happen for you, not to you.
Yeah, not against you. And this is connecting back with the greater picture. Nothing's happening against you. That it's happening for you in alignment with what you're creating. But if you were a victim, then you were not creating, were you? So, welcome back to creating, and hopefully we introduced a little bit more acknowledgement or understanding in relation to becoming one with the metaphysical world. Thank you for all of you who messaged and tuned in today. And
let's see if in your Instagram they have a couple of questions. Guys, we just again to the ones that just tuned, yo voy a estar bajando un video atachado con el mismo live para que vean de todo lo que estábamos discutiendo en
a little recap, right?
Yeah, a recap.
We're gonna post a little video having to do with what we basically talked about in this video, with a little trailer that she created before we started. So stay tuned for that, and we'll see you in the next one.
Bye.
Peace.